All right, guys, welcome back. It's me, Daniel, with VintageMagic.com in overcast Seattle. We're not in Seattle, are we? We're in Lacey, Washington. It's my friend over here, John.
John,
how's it going?
it's going great.
All right, John is an old school magic collector, and he has probably one of the more interesting stories I've seen, like blast from the past collections. There's so much dust in these binders. You could right? They're from like the 90s dust.
90s dust.
90s dust. All right, so what we got here, let me just do a preview, is John had random sets, Arabian Nights, Legends, Antiquities. But look at these binders. I mean, I just want to let you guys know, look at the dust and the old schoolness, nostalgia of the binders, like back in the day when we were in high school and college. But I want to show you something interesting. He actually, you were kind of an artist in this, right?
Yeah, I used to take the box itself and cut out the template to put on the box of cards I was collecting. So if it was a Mirage deck, I cut out the Mirage box and then stenciled it onto my play box, the collection box.
And so guys, this is the beautiful artwork that he stenciled. Guys, let me ask you a question. Do you guys actually do this these days? Because new Magic collectors, I have never seen a new Magic collector ever stencil anything. What is the deal with the skull thing you did?
Something I did in high school a lot.
Okay. So by the way, guys, I asked John what his favorite color and decks were. They were mono black, anything black. He liked that kind of stuff. All right, so real briefly, there's a lot to talk about. Let's talk about you started at the dark, right?
Started collecting with the dark, and I kind of got the bug, and I started collecting a lot of other things as well. I collected into the alphas. I never finished it, but as new expansions came out, I would take and buy the new expansion and put them in a deck, so I had unplayed versions of each of those cards. And I collected all the way through up into Homelands, basically, and Magic started coming out every 2 months, and I couldn't keep up with it financially, so I just kind of quit.
So give us an example back in the day. Like, what was back in the 96 range, right?
Yeah.
What was the going price of like a Alpha Black Lotus? Do you remember that?
Oh, God. I think an Alpha Black Lotus in the mid 90s was going for about $500, somewhere like that.
$500, guys. If you guys have Alpha Black Lotuses for $500, I will double your price right now. Double. What do you think about that?
Yeah, no problem. Bring them on.
Actually, John, you would actually double the price and do it too, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But $500 back in the 90s, explain to people, that was a hard time for people, some people.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking 1990s dollars versus 2018 dollars. There's a big difference between the two. So
houses were cheaper, right?
Yeah, everything was less expensive.
Right.
I mean, a gallon of gas now is $4.
Oh my God! Yeah, it was like what, maybe $1 something?
Yeah, $1.30 maybe.
Oh wow!
Something like that. So the inflation hits us all. Doesn't matter what you're buying.
So how did you get introduced? Like, when you have friends that in a comic book shop?
I had a bunch of friends that this friend of mine came over to my house, and he's like, "Hey, check out this new game I just found. It's called Magic the Gathering." And it was right when the Dark had come out. So we were buying 3rd edition booster packs and decks, and then augmenting it with the Dark. Well, then one thing led to another. I got into the Arabian Nights real heavy. I got into the Alphas, and I was the only one that went that way out of all my friends. So
why is that?
I like the art. I enjoyed the pictures on the cards themselves, and having all of them that you could flip through and look at, and then just get into the old school art and some of that kind of thing. Well, here's an example.
Oh, yeah.
I got a Sarah Angel caricature done by Schuler.
Doug Schuler, yep.
Doug Schuler, and that was a birthday gift that my brother got me. Well, my brother and I both were into playing Magic, and he met Schuler and said, "Hey, my brother's birthday's coming up. Can you hook me up with a special birthday?"
Now look at this, guys. This is interesting. This was like a revised mountain, but they I think it's kind of almost stamped really nicely as a business card, right?
Yeah.
That was kind of cool. Do you think this place is in business still?
I doubt it.
Doubt it, right?
Yeah. I don't think any of these places. I know for a fact the comic stand is not.
Wonder World? Interesting.
Yeah.
I've never heard of these places. Guys, you guys should look these places up. See if they're even still. I don't think this place.
This doesn't exist.
Does
anymore.
not exist.
This is the one that my friend bought.
Right.
You know?
Oh, cool.
He used to work in an asylum with me.
Right.
We both worked in the same asylum, and he bought this from another coworker at the place. So
talk about the magic environment back in the day. Talk about the, like, what was people's feeling about magic? Would it last? Was it exciting? What do you think?
Everybody thought it was going to fall on its ass, you know, and nobody was into it. You know, there was like, I don't know, the great unwashed of magic, or, you know, the long trench coats and stuff like that that's going to the coffee houses and playing at the coffee houses. But it was a real strange culture at the time, and now it's a little more mainstream, a little bit more hardcore collectors going to things, you know, kind of thing. And it's moved on. It's moved on beyond where I care to play, you know,
right,
kind of thing.
Right. Okay. So when did you stop? Why did you stop?
I stopped
collecting?
Because they kept bringing out new and new, you know, more and more expansions, faster and faster, and the cards were getting repetitive for either higher mana cost or lower mana cost. You know, you could play an old school card because you liked the way it looked and worked, and somebody else was playing a new version of that card for less mana, and it kind of got, what have you done?
Right.
You know, Magic, what have you done? You know.
Do you think part of it was, like you said, you're a kind of an art fan? The new cards didn't have that nostalgia.
Yeah, they don't have the heart that the old cards have. You know, the old cards. You look at some of these cards; they're beautiful. They're gorgeous pieces of art. That.
Now, what are some of your favorites, by the way?
Oh, you know, obviously I like the Black Lotus, but that's because it's the Black Lotus. But the Dark Moon is an awesome color.
Blood Moon, yeah.
Yeah.
Or the Bad Moon.
The Bad Moon is a beautiful piece of art. You know, I mean, there's just so many. The demons that they had, you know, a lot of the demons and the demonic contract, and some of those cards are just gorgeous cards. They're beautiful to look at.
How about this card? Have you ever flipped this card and played it? Chaos Orb?
I've never done it that way. You know?
This is a fun card to play with.
Chaos Orb.
Yeah, Chaos Orb people. Why not beta? Why did you not collect beta?
I wanted, you know, I mean, you look at like a Superman #1 or a Batman #1. I wanted the first stuff that was coming out. I didn't want to go with the second series stuff.
First edition, yeah.
Yeah, first edition was what I was thinking was the neater stuff to collect. I like the sharper corner, not the big rounded corner on them.
And you know, being like you said, you were in your 50s and stuff. Now, like you were in your, how old were you? Like 30s?
Oh God, it had to be 20, you know, late 20s and
30s. So people always ask, how did you? Because I was in high school when all this happened, and I didn't make enough money. So you had a job.
I was working. Yeah. You know, every day, 9 to 5, I was working.
So you had the money to have some expendable income to buy some of this.
Disposable income in my pocket. I was living at home and saving on rent. I didn't have the big dollars that I had to put into.
But it's still,
everything else.
But it's still like if you're making like maybe $10, $12 an hour back in the day, $15 an hour.
Yeah.
I mean, $12 an hour, guys. That may buy you like two cards.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of money to people.
Yeah. But, you know, the thing is I didn't have a house payment. Well, now I do. You know, I mean, it's one of those things that, you know, you just...
So you got older and got a more real life situation.
You know, I mean, your priorities change, you know. I mean, when you get to the point that you got a car payment and a house payment and you still got to put groceries on the table or whatever... You know, your priorities change. You're not buying cards anymore. So enjoy it while you can.
Did you ever get your parents or a girlfriend saying, why the hell do you buy these things?
Of course.
I've had the same thing.
My folks were like, you're wasting all your money on this. It's like, yeah, but look at the cool art that I've got. And it's not a tattoo on my arm. You can't complain.
Yeah, I'm not doing drugs, guys.
You know?
It's MTG crack, but, you know,
right.
It's not the same kind of crack.
Right.
That's funny. My mom, when I was dealing cards, like baseball cards in the beginning, I would have them on our piano, stacked up. It should be like, no, I see what's going on. You're not practicing your piano anymore. You're just basically using us like as a big table. But that's just the love. You know, I have the same passion. I love like the Wrath of God and the artwork.
Look at this is beautiful.
Yeah, the Zombie Master. Guys,
it's a gorgeous card.
Now I want to show you guys something what he did. This is disgusting, guys. Look at what he wrote. This is vintage writing here. As 1996, 900 and that must be a typo, guys.
$960.
And now worth $2,200 in high scry. And scry went out of business,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Back in the day, high scry, it was about $2,200 worth of cards that I paid about $1,000 for.
Now, how did you think? Now, scry was the only option to price cards. Do you think was that?
Yeah, once upon a time, that was what you got.
Every month you waited for scry.
Yeah, and I bought it religiously every month. It's like, what do my cards do? You know, you tear through the scry to find out what your cards were worth back in the day.
Guys, do you see what's going on here? This is the real vintage. I'm going to keep this forever. This is like real set collecting, guys. This is what it was back in the day.
No computer.
Magic card, yeah. No gatherer, no search engine.
No computer, no.
Yeah. And when I was collecting, I did the same thing. I would literally write them down, old school, cross them out, like cross the wall of fire. It's gone, right? It's gone. So he has that,
Yeah.
and it gave a sense of, as a collector, talk about when you got that card to fill the set. Did you feel one step closer every time?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it was the rush of getting the card, you know, and it was the hunt for the card that also made it fun. You know, I mean, beyond just the art, beyond having a complete set, it was the rush of, hey, I got a brand new wall of fire. It's going in the book as soon as I get back. You know.
What was the strategy of your collecting? Like how did you, like, this is a, well, the list is really big.
Yeah.
How do you determine what card to buy?
What you see.
Okay.
You know, it was availability of the card. You know, you couldn't always just go in the store. And no matter how much money you had, if you walked in the store, you're not going to get an Astral Recall just because you want it.
Oh,
just
so
because it's missing it from your deck.
So back in the day, it was rare.
It was rare then.
Wow.
It was rare then. So back in the day, you know, it's like, I need an Astral Recall, but nobody's got one. You know, it's like I've been to 8 card shops this week, or 10
you say
card shops.
ancestral recall.
Ancestral.
Guys are gonna
Ancestral Recall.
I was like, is that a new card?
No, but you'd go in the shop, you know, and there'd be all these cards, singles in their glass case, and you were looking for one thing in particular. But if you didn't have as good a card that was there, you'd rebuy that and move the other card over, that kind of thing, you know.
Right.
So, but a lot of it was availability of what was available at the time. You know,
And the only thing that was available were card shops back in the day. It was
Comic
not.
book stores
It
and
wasn't.
card
It
shops.
wasn't like there was the massive internet presence.
right.
What
Yeah,
back in
no,
the
it was-
'90s.
It was all comic book and card shops.
Okay. All right. So, guys, this is interesting, and then he also has these cool, like, random boxes of cards. And over all my years of buying collections, these type of collections are probably the most. How would you call it? Like, I got my shoulders all over, guys. Sorry. Get you in there. You there? Yep. These type of collections are the most interesting because they really hit home of what I did when I was younger. I would write on the box. I would draw my own symbols of stuff, and I would try to, check off the list of that card that I needed. I would trade with my friends. This type of nostalgia does not exist anymore in Magic, especially. And John has been really kind to spend some time sharing with us. And obviously this is going to go to some life-changing things, because when you get older, like I was talking about my videos, you start realizing that these cards become an investment, because when he first bought these, he didn't think they were an investment. And now what you can do is you can, like, these can change people's lives, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you never thought that when you first bought
Yeah,
these.
when I bought them, I was just enjoying them for the art that they were there, and playing with my friends in the basement. You know, I mean, we'd get together and we'd play a dozen games in the evening, have a couple of beers, and just relax and have a good time and unwind. And I never dreamed that they would become valuable. I guess it's like somebody who's like, yeah, my mom threw out all my comic books when I was an adult. It's like I had Batman #1 or whatever, and mom tossed it all. Luckily, my mom didn't toss all my cards.
Thank God. Good job, Mom. Good job.
I ended up doing okay on them.
Now, as far as last thing is, tell everybody out there, like, do you feel saddened that now you're moving on, or do you feel happy that someone else will enjoy them?
I hope somebody gets as much enjoyment out of them as I got. I mean, I had a great time collecting them. I had a great time playing with them. But, I'm just moving on. It's time to...
They're in your closet, right?
Yeah, they're in my closet collecting dust. And if somebody else can enjoy them and use them, More power to you. I'm glad you're still into it.
All right. All right, guys. Thanks again for watching the video. John, thank you again for the awesome stories. Oh, my shoulder's all messed up. If you guys have any collections you guys want to share with me, get a hold of me. Just go to vintagemagic.com. Go to contact us. John's been very kind to share, his time and his stories. I hope you guys kind of get something out of this, because I really felt the nostalgia and the heartfeltness of collecting with this collection. When I kind of said about the gem mint dust going on there, I'm not kidding, guys. This dust of putting it in these Ultra Pro type of sleeves and collecting, this doesn't ever happen anymore. And I really hope that one day, when I pass away, my kids or the next generation comes along, they sit down and look at, they remember these videos, hey, maybe I can start checking off my list, making my own collection, whatever it is, right?
Start collecting what's popular today and keep it 30 years, and you might.
You never know.
It might become good.
Just enjoy what you're doing, right?
Right. Enjoy it for what it is today. Don't worry about the investment part of it. It's great.
Great advice. We'll leave it out there. And by the way, want to do a shout out to your son Justin?
Hey, Justin. Good luck to you. Thank you for introducing us.
Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, very much so.
And Mom's just gone somewhere golfing. All right. Take care, guys. You guys enjoy. We'll talk to you guys soon.